Today we're going to look at percentages. Percent is Latin for parts out of 100, per cent. You might have seen the word cent or part of cent in century, meaning 100 years. And cent is in 1/100th of a dollar. So the word cent there means 100 and per means for every. So parts out of 100, it's the number of parts out of 100. And this is the symbol for percent. So 23% means 23 parts out of 100. So if we can think of that as a fraction, if the whole is 100, so we've got 23 of those 100th parts, we've got 23 hundredths. And as a decimal, that's 0.23. Now, percentages are very useful because we've got the same denominator for every fraction that we would be looking at. So because we've got that same fraction, that same denominator, we can compare them very easily. 46% and 48%, it's very easy to see which one's bigger. But if we had a fraction with a different denominator, say it was 13 out of 20 and 14 out of and 13 out of 20 and 12 out of 13, it's not as easy to compare them to see which is bigger. So to convert a percentage to a fraction, we can make the percentage the numerator, just like we've done here. We made the percentage the numerator and the denominator is 100. And then we just simplify it. So for 35%, that's 35 parts out of 100, so 35 over 100, and we can divide both the top and the bottom by 5 to get 7/20ths. And then going the other way, to convert a fraction to a percentage, we just need to multiply by 100%. So if we've got here 1/8, 1/8 times 100%, that's just 1 over 8 times 100 over 1%. So that's 100 over 8%, and that simplifies to 12.5%. Now, we can multiply by 100% without actually changing the value of it, because 100% is equal to 1. If we think about 100%, that would be 100 parts out of 100. 100 over 100, that's going to be equal to 1. So multiplying by 100 over 1%, 100% isn't going to change the fraction at all. So 12.5% is equal to 1/8. Looking at our first example here, converting the following percentages to fractions and converting fractions to percentages. 160% is going to be 160 parts out of 100, so it's going to simplify to 8 over 5. And to make it look, to make it a bit more meaningful, 8 over 5 isn't as meaningful. We can say, well, it's one whole, and 3/5 as well, so 1 3/5. 12.5% is 12.5 over 100. Now we need to try and get rid of that and simplify it down. So we can multiply the top and the bottom by 2 and get 25 over 200, and that simplifies to 1/8. So that's going back the other way from converting the fraction to a percentage that we did before. So here we're looking at converting fractions to percentages. 2/3, and we multiply that by 100%, that's times 100 over 1%. So the 2 times 100 is 200, 3 times 1 is 3, 200 over 3 is 66 2/3%. Here D, we've got a mixed number now, so we can convert that mixed number there to an improper fraction. 2 1/4 becomes 9/4, multiplied by 100 over 1%, so 9 times 100 is going to be 900, 4 times 1 is 4, 900 divided by 4, that's 225%. So if we look at converting between percentages and decimals, this one's very easy. To convert a percentage to a decimal, you divide by 100, and to convert a decimal to a percentage, the other way, you multiply by 100. So a percentage is always going to look larger than its decimal. So here 46%, 46 is a larger number than 0.46. So you know that if we've got a percentage and we're trying to convert it to a decimal, we need to divide, make it smaller, make it look smaller. So if we divide by 100%, once again dividing by 100%, 100% is equal to 1, so dividing by 1 isn't going to change the value at all of it, but the percentage signs are going to divide out, and 46 divided by 100 is going to be 0.46. So 46%. Looks smaller, 0.46. They're exactly the same, they're the same value. So then multiplying by 100% to go from a decimal to a percentage, we're getting bigger, so we're multiplying. 0.182 times 100%. We're going to shift the decimal point 2 places to the right and get 81.2% there. So having a look at our final example for today, converting some percentages to decimals and decimals to percentages. If we've got 723%, we can convert that to a decimal by dividing by 100 and get 7.23. Here, once again, percentage 13.45%, divide by 100 to get it to a decimal, 0.1345. Notice, remember that all we're doing is shifting the decimal place 2 points to the left, okay, to divide by 100. Here, going from in the other direction, going from a decimal to a percentage, so it's going to look like a bigger number, even though it's the same value. So here we've got 0.458, we can multiply by 100%, and we get, moving it 2 places to the right, 45.8%. If we've got 17.5, once again moving 2 places to the right, 1 place to the right will be 175, another place to the right is going to be 1,750%.